Pack your bags, be ready to fight. Maya Gutman is a 28-year-old Australian. She was born in Israel but moved to Melbourne when she was 18 months old. Her family is still here. But she's about to join the front line in a bloody battle. A reservist with the Israeli Defence Forces, she's risking her life for the country she loves. Mai joins me now from Israel. Mai, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. You could be called to serve at any moment. Can you explain the emotions of the past few days?
Thank you so much for having me. The past few days have been unlike any other that we've experienced in Israel before. We are mostly in shock, in utter disbelief at what's happening, at the occurrences, at the footage, at the images. It started off on Saturday morning, what was supposed to be a very quiet morning. I was in Jerusalem and I woke up to the sound of sirens, of red alert sirens, which was confusing. How did it come already all the way to Jerusalem? Which meant that obviously this had been going on for at least a couple of hours down south, waking up to the horrifying news that terrorists had infiltrated into Israeli territory and were massacring Israeli civilians on the streets and in bomb shelters and in their homes, burning homes, kidnapping innocent civilians, elderly women, children. Absolutely horrifying images. I can't even put them into words.
I can hear it in your voice. And you're talking about some of those harrowing images. There were those ones, of course, too, from the music festival, where Hamas fighters coming in on paragliders and utes, killing hundreds, taking others hostage. And Mai, you were meant to be there.
I was supposed to be at the music festival that everybody else was at down south, and having, being part of the WhatsApp groups. When I was supposed to go initially, I joined the WhatsApp groups, to find a good crew to go with and to find a way to get there, a means of transportation. But in the end, I decided not to go, but I stayed in the WhatsApp group. So I still was in communication with people that have been there. But the morning of the sirens, when I'd woken up, my phone started pinging from this WhatsApp group saying, help us, help us. People were texting, like all these different girls were texting, please help us. They're coming at us. They're shooting at us. My friend's dead. People are dying. There are bodies everywhere. People are bleeding. Help me. I'm hurt. I don't know what to do. Please call the police. Please call the army. And of course, there's no one to call. What do I do? Who do I call? Please, how do I help you? And to think that that could have been me, to think that my friends were there, to think that these people are just young people my age who just went to have a good time, who went to a music festival. You wouldn't think going to Pitch or Beyond the Valley and that's where your life will end. You don't expect that at all.
And Maya, I mean, you grew up here in Australia. Your family's all here, your mum, your dad, 4 siblings. If you wanted, you could come home. Why aren't you?
I have what it means, like a moral imperative to be here. I think to myself, where are you when it matters? Are you going to be a bystander? Are you going to be someone that looks on and says, oh, well, there was nothing that I could do? There's definitely something that I could do. I'm a reservist.
It's scary stuff, isn't it? And to see how it has escalated over the last couple of days. How does your family feel about your decision to stay and fight? I imagine in many ways your mum and dad are so proud, but also worried about their little girl.
Of course. And, my mum's having kittens. My dad is beside himself at the fact that he can't be here himself. Honestly, every single person that we know has lost someone in the past couple of days. And to be trembling in front of the news, waiting to hear the name of a loved one come across the screen, it's just terrifying. It's felt all over the world.
You've seen war before in 2014, but nothing like this, I imagine. Women, both old and young, kids, soldiers, all targeted, murdered or taken hostage. Are you frightened right now?
I think if I took the moment to sit down and internalize what's really going on, I think that there would be an element of fear. But living in Israel and living in a period of such heightened tension, I don't have the luxury. I really do need to compartmentalize. If I get called up, I'm currently on standby waiting. My bags are packed. I just have to be given the call. And if things heat up in the north, then I'll be sent there. And I just don't have the luxury to sit down and be scared and have a cry. And it's not the time. I think after this, there will be a period where we will all start to absorb and internalize what's happened. We will be grieving and be mourning. People are currently mourning. Families that have lost loved ones are mourning. But for someone that hasn't, doesn't have that direct connection at the moment, it's very difficult for me to sit down and say, oh well, I need a moment. Like it's selfish in a way.
So you're on call to perhaps head to the north, and that's a call that could come, who knows, in the next hour, few days, weeks. It may not come. Are you on edge every time your phone rings?
Yeah, I am. It's my phone's off silent all the time. I am just honestly, in a way, hoping, because I'm kind of like a sitting duck at the moment. There's not much that we can really do. I mean, we can go give blood. There are food drives and gear, like people are sending equipment and gear and clothes. We can help pack and we can help drive people around, but there's really nothing else that I can do apart from wait and hope that things either die down or that I'll be needed in a way.
You say you're packed and ready to go. What is in that bag?
I mean, it's not really like if you would imagine, like First, Second World War, people carrying around little Polaroids of their loved ones. I think I've got photos in my phone. We have a protocol in the army that if you're ever sent into combat, you write a letter. I don't need to tell you what that letter might say, but you can imagine. I'm packing the necessities at this point. There's not really much I need.
Mai, if your family is watching right now, do you want to say anything to them?
And that I love you and I'm thinking of you, and that I know you're sitting on spilkers, which means that you've probably got ants in your pants waiting to hear what's happening, and hoping that I'm keeping safe. I love you all and I'm thinking of you all, and I do this all with you in my mind.
Well, you're incredibly strong, Mai. Look after yourself, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So many senseless deaths on both sides, and tomorrow night, inside Gaza.